How you doing? I'm Paddy Ryan, Dundrum House. My family and I have been here since 1966. The new changes that have come into the village have been catastrophic as far as I can see. I've lost customers, I've lost elderly people here who cannot get the bus anymore. I was here on Friday, I couldn't even return to my own business because of the traffic had gone all the way up on the one-way system they have at the moment. I could not even get in. Weather had affected. God only knows what Christmas will bring and what the future will bring. I've just received a new letter from them to say our rates are going up. I just cannot believe it. I don't know how I'm going to pay it, and I really don't know what we're going to do going into the future.
Neil John, second.
My name is John Deaton. I'm an architect, a mediator and conciliator. Public consultation is a well-developed and developing process and is used throughout the world in relation to large infrastructural schemes. And make no doubt, this scheme is a large infrastructural scheme. It's not Dundrum Village anymore, it's Dundrum Newtown. And the effects of this will spread out not only to the residents of Dundrum, but to the wider community. The consultation process that has taken place has been brief and flawed. It occurred during the summer when all the residents' associations were on break and people were away on holiday. The manager is on record as saying he considered postponing it, but decided that there was some haste in doing the plan, so he needed to get it through by September.
Hi, my name is Colette Grant. I live in Sweetmount Avenue. I've lived here for 40 years, and before that in Weston Road, Churchtown, where I was born. One of the main points I want to make is about the bus gate. The bus gate is coming into a residential area, a completely residential area with now one business premises. First of all. Second of all, it's opposite a library which has a protection order against it. It's also going to go up past Nahi's Church, which also has a protection order, and the wall itself has collapsed and has been supported now, and I can't see how buses going up every 4 minutes are not going to actually make it completely collapse. And this is completely unacceptable to me and to anybody that's fighting against this thing in Dundrum. 50% of our population in Dundrum, which is 3,000 people, are all the working people, and these are the people that are paying their rent and rates, including the businesses here in Dundrum paying huge rates like 10 and 20 grand a year. And really somebody needs to listen to the ordinary people on the street.
Hello, Liam Coughlin is my name. I'm a resident and a civil engineer. This plan was produced in the middle of summer, and believe it or not, over 900 people made submissions, and which is hard to believe that over 70% of the people are against this plan. Now, normally when there's a planning application and people make objections, it's something that doesn't affect them that much. It might be the height of a nearby building or something along that nature. But this is a plan that affects the lives and the livelihoods of so many people. And what's actually shocking about it is that the County Council have rejected every single one of those objections. And they're not objections that are small objections. As I say, it affects people getting in and out of the village. They can't get into the village. It affects the businesses here. It affects the church here. It's just so unbelievably affecting the lives of people, and it's been totally ignored. It's not democratic.
Hello there, my name is Joe Hannigan. I'm a taxi driver in Dublin for the last 30 years. The taxi rank in Dundrum, they're making it harder and harder to access the rank. Even if you're getting someone going back up to Sandyford, you have to go back down to the village. I'd have to go right down to the bottom of the village now to bring them people back up to Sandyford. So it's going to be impossible for us to walk that taxi rank.
My name is Marette Mulvey, and this is my husband Frank Mulvey. We have run a pharmacy on the main street in Dundrum for 43 years. We've paid our rates and paid our taxes. We've served the people of Dundrum to the best of our ability. They put a one-way system in without any consultation at all 2 years ago. and it has been catastrophic to our business. At least once or twice a week, elderly patients are ringing saying their children can't get in or out of the village because of this one-way system. Now we feel if the Barton Road and Ballantyre Road is closed, we might as well close our doors as a shop. Why they've been allowed to do this and hoist this on people without any proper consultation is an absolute disgrace. The church here as well, Barton Road, we have a lot of elderly people living on Barton Road, people with mobility issues. When we mentioned this to the councillors when we had a meeting, one of their answers was let them get the bus, which, as we all know, if you have mobility issues, is not possible. So we're asking you to leave the heart in Dundrum and stop this nonsense that the County Council are trying to do. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Ruth Devaney. I own the off licence on the corner. I suppose you've seen a lot of us doing these videos over the last little while. Our biggest disappointment now is the Chief Executive's report, where he rubber stamped it, and the lack of communication between the county councillors and the stakeholders, which are the residents and the business owners and the community as a whole. We were under the impression that a local area plan was a contract and an agreement between a community and the county councillors, and we feel that our county councillors have really let us down. And we're going to urge our whole community to vote on that basis when the general elections come up next year, that they have not supported us and they have not listened to us. And really everything else has been said by everybody else, but that is our main message today, that our county councillors, our voice, our public voice has really let us down.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Warren Logan, and as you know, hopefully I'm a Dundrum resident. I've been living here all my life, which is nearly 54 years. I'm here today with a lot of the people, both from the traders and a residential perspective, and a lot of the people I'm speaking to, we're just sort of a bit dumbfounded. We're at the end of a long consultation process. We feel like we've been steamrolled over. Chief Executive reports, just mulling over it and then disregarding all of our submissions, and it's very sad that what we're seeing is here that there has been very little engagement with the community in a meaningful way. I think it's very superficial, the consultation process. It's just rubber stamping exercise to make it look like there was a consultation process. I don't believe there was a proper consultation process myself. I've had an opportunity to speak to the councillors. They're feeling a lot of pressure that the planners are putting on them in relation to making these amendments. And all I can say is, realistically, if what we have here with the Dundrum Village SHD, if that's to go ahead in its current format, 16, 15 and 14 stories, on top of that, what we, I believe, a very controversial local area plan, it's going to be very hard for anyone to say, I'm going to enjoy living in Dundrum like we love it now.
I'm Dr. Kieran Bent. I have a surgery on the main street of Dundrum in the Pembroke Cottages opposite the chapel. I would like to say that I'm pro cycle lanes. I've cycled 800 miles for charity, and I've put forward 6 alternative cycle lanes for the village. I'm also pro the European advice for high density accommodation. My concern here is in relation to residents and how they will access our village. The planners are going to close 2 roads, Barton Road East, Ballantyre Road. They're going to maintain the one-way system here in the village, which was meant to be temporary. The residents don't realise it, but when the car park at the old centre closes, the old shopping centre, when that closes, it closes off all cars coming from the northern aspect of the village. Residents will not be able to get into this village, and basically our village will close.
Hi, I'm Niall Gantley. I'm a resident of the village. I'm also a business owner in the village. So, I think I would be classed as a stakeholder. Now, obviously the main concern overlaps with what everyone has said. It's the restriction of car access to where people live, for all the reasons that you would want deliveries to your property, to get in and out, emergency services. Just freedom to come and go and not to have to worry about peak traffic times and all of that. So, I definitely would not be in favour of most of the changes in the local area plan.
How are you? My name is Lance Grossman. I have a jewellery shop on the Kilmacud Hill. I've been there for 37 years and I've seen lots of planners come and go and lots of plans come and go. And I don't think the title of being a planner qualifies you with any great level of intelligence. Planners have led us to what we have now, and they're telling us that they're going to plan for 10 years hence. Well, it'll take them 10 years to build what they intend to build, and in the meantime this village will be a cul-de-sac, never mind all the other traffic restrictions they intend to bring in. It just seems that there's no basis of common sense in the traffic restrictions that they're looking for. If you can send buses down the main street, why can't cars come down the main street? You're going to send cars down the Kilmacud Hill, you're going to make them turn right, they're all going to go down the main street, so why can't cars come up from the side of the shopping centre and turn left and go down the main street? There's no logic to it. And I just think that the whole process is based on a fluffy 10-minute village idea where people float in on their bicycles and in the middle of December, can you imagine that happening? The cafe culture across the main street where people are supposed to sit out on these widened footpaths and enjoy the cafe culture the village has to offer. There'll be no cafes there because people wouldn't bother to open them. And in the rain and the wind and the snow, this country isn't built for that. We need cars, and cars need access to a village if the village is to survive.
This is wrong. The submissions that were made were in the main ignored by the planning department. Any amendments made to the plan involved merely changes of wording or positive changes to their already proposals. What is needed now, and the residents associations have come together and are asking that the plan be rejected and that the council sit down with the stakeholders, the residents and the businesses to design with them a new plan that would have overall acceptance and would ease its implementation into the future.
Hello, I'm Tim Joyce, a resident of this really lovely community. I don't use a car because I'm conscious of climate change, but I know in several years from now I will have to use a car, like many of my elderly neighbours. Dundrum is not like many other parts of Dublin where plans are afoot to change how cars can access or not access places, because this is a very hilly place, and I don't know if that has been taken into account.
So that's me, Ihab, from the Best Barber, the Main Street Dundrum, 15 Main Street Dundrum. We've been in the business there for the last 20 years, and actually since they changed the way two-way system to one-way system, our business actually go down hugely because the access to the villages become harder and harder. And now it's about time to stop people coming from Volunteer Road to the Main Street. That's actually going to affect the business hugely as well.
I grew up in Dundrum. I've always lived here. Well, I live in Rathfarnham now. But coming to work, I think the traffic is going to be chaos to try and get through Dundrum. We're not going to be able to. I come over the bridge, so that means that I'll have to go up and around maybe Churchtown, which is very bad for the traffic there. I feel it's just going to destroy the village. I don't see how elderly people with children, everything, to try and get into the village, to try and do shopping. It's already destroyed as it is. And I remember it when I was young growing up in the 60s, 70s. It was a thriving village and they really have destroyed it.
As Liam stated, there was 70% submissions against the local area plan, and we feel like we're being ignored. So can you please listen to us, and that we'd like to make you aware that general elections are coming, and we will be telling our community how our local councillors are voting on a plan that we are not for.